You can make the fucked up shit. People say you shouldn't, but that's because they don't want to see it. That's on them. You don't need to make shit for them. Tokyo Gore Police, for example. This one is basically body horror, partially very violent, very crazy, over the top as you can get. Female led, very gory, deals with wrist slitting as well. Very graphic. And if that's not your thing, that's fine. But stuff like this does exist. So if you're saying, well, what I'm thinking is too crazy, or nobody would ever like it, or nobody would ever sign on. People sign on for the making of this. People sign on for the making of X-Cross. The Loved Ones, which is basically a kidnapping torture movie. Okay? People sign on. They do all the time. So the excuse of nobody's going to want to do this, nobody's going to want to see this if I make it a movie, TV show, whatever. Nobody's going to want to read it. Nobody's going to want to listen to it. Nobody's going to want to look at it if it's a drawing or a piece of art or whatever. Guess what? You're wrong. Flat out. Let's put it this way. I'm from Michigan. In Detroit, every year there's a show called The Dirty Show, where it is as dirty as you can get, as filthy, as raunchy as you can imagine, right? This happens every year. So what you're doing or thinking about doing is that bad, huh? Where you think nobody's going to get behind it if you put it out, no matter what it is. You're wrong. Sorry to tell you, things like The Dirty Show exist. Horror conventions exist. You get what I'm saying? People collect sleaze, collect filth. Collect the extreme stuff. Tarnation Extreme, that whole series, for example. People try to get as much of that as they can. You get what I'm saying? So, any excuse that you are coming up with, it's not a valid one anymore. Hate to tell you. It's never been a valid one. When Fangoria was a magazine, and it was basically the only way to hear about horror movies for the most part, well, guess what? People were still making them, getting word out on that. So, people have been making movies in nudist areas since the 60s. This is just movie stuff. This isn't even writing. You go back to like the 40s and before, you're getting crime stories, you're getting dark crime stories at that. You're getting violent stories, you're getting sexualized stories, you're getting